There's something inherently captivating about fast wagons. The idea of taking a utilitarian station wagon and transforming it into a straight-line beast is unconventional, yet highly respectable, garnering admiration from car enthusiasts everywhere. While the Germans are the current rulers of the high-performance wagon segment, the Americans have a rich history of building some of the most formidable V8 muscle wagons during the height of the muscle car era. When gas was cheap and horsepower was abundant, manufacturers produced several incredibly fast wagons for the general public. Today, few of these old-school wagons remain on the road, especially since many of them were low-production models to begin with. From Chevrolet to Plymouth, here are 5 of the most in-dist American factory-built wagons ever made, along with some interesting facts about them. Number 5, the 1973 Chevelle 454 SS wagon. Most people stopped caring about the Chevelle after the 1972 model year because the body style radically changed to a new big bumper design. Despite this, the new generation Chevelle, which included the Laguna, sold over 1 million cars, including the 1973 Chevelle SS wagon. Allegedly, only about 1,500 of these wagons were made, encompassing both engine options. The base option was a small block 350 that could be spec'd out at 145 or 175 horsepower, which didn't make it a muscle wagon by any means. However, a select few cars ordered in 1973 came equipped with the 454 turbojet big block, backed by a 3-speed automatic transmission or a super rare 4-speed manual option. With the 454, the Chevelle SS wagons still made 245 horsepower and nearly 400 lb of torque, which was impressive for 1973. This new Chevelle also had a much better chassis compared to its older brothers. Pair that 4-speed with the 454 and a rear-facing jump seat, and you had a family hauler that could lay down some serious black marks on the pavement. However, it's estimated that only around 70 or so 454 powered SS wagons were built in 1973, and it's unknown how many of those were 4-speeds, but it was likely only a handful. There is one interesting fact. The 1973 Chevelle 454 SS wagon is so rare that finding one in good condition today can fetch a high price at auctions, often exceeding 6 figures. Number 4. The 1957 fuel-injected Nomad. As far as wagons and shooting brakes go, the Chevy Nomad is one of the most iconic and best-looking ones ever made. Its Tri-5 styling is timeless, especially when paired with its unique 2-door layout. Introduced in 1955, the Nomad initially launched with an inline-6, or a Chevrolet 265 cubic inch small block V8, but the top engine only made 180 horsepower. However, things changed in 1956, the last year of the first-generation Nomad. For 1957, there was a special 283 small block available that bumped power to 283 horsepower, reaching the golden 1 horsepower per cubic inch rule. This engine was the fuel-injected Ramjet 283, featuring all the bells and whistles from a top-dog fuely Corvette. A 3-speed automatic and a 4-speed manual transmission were available with the 283 in the Nomad. In total, just under 1,000 of these cars were built, making them some of the most sought-after GM collector cars today. There is 2 interesting facts. Fact 1. The 1957 fuel-injected Nomad was one of the first American cars to feature fuel injection, a technology that was revolutionary at the time and is now standard in modern vehicles. Fact 2. The Nomad's design was inspired by the Corvette Nomad, a concept car shown at the 1954 Motorama, making it one of the most stylish wagons ever produced. Number 3. The 428 and 429 powered Ford Country Squire wagons. When Chevy released their 454 powered Chevelle SS wagons, Ford responded with the Ford LTD Country Squire wagon, equipped with an optional 429 cubic inch V8 or a 428 cubic inch V8, depending on the year. From 1966 to 1968, the 428 was available in the Country Squire wagon, cranking out a respectable 345 horsepower. In 1969, Ford switched to the 429, which wasn't a Cobra jet or Super Cobra jet, but still made around 320 horsepower for the 2-barrel version and about 360 horsepower for the 4-barrel 429 available in the wagon. The Country Squire wagons also featured optional wood paneling on the sides, making them big, block woody wagons, which is incredibly cool. Unfortunately, no 4-speeds were factory offered unless special ordered by someone with pull at Ford. Records show there was one 428 4-speed Country Squire wagon built, with a front bench seat, rear bench seat, and third-row fold-down seats that faced each other like in a Land Rover Defender. This muscle wagon was an 8-seater with a big block. These wagons are relatively affordable today and come up for sale more often than other wagons listed here. Do you know 2 interesting facts? Fact 1. The Ford Country Squire was often seen in movies and TV shows of the era, symbolizing the quintessential American family car, but few knew about its hidden muscle car potential. Fact 2. The wood paneling on the Country Squire was not real wood, but rather die-knock vinyl, designed to give the appearance of wood without the maintenance. Number 2. The 1970 Buick Estate Wagon with a 455. The 1970 Buick Estate Wagon, similar to the 1973 Chevelle SS 454 wagon, was a 1-year production-only option. Built on the GM B-body chassis, shared with the Impala, it was reworked in the following year onto the larger C-body chassis. The 455 under the hood of the 1970 Buick Estate made an impressive 370 horsepower and nearly 500 ft-lb of torque. This was the only engine option available for 1970. This wagon even had positraction outback, power brakes, power windows, and other luxury options, making it a top-of-the-line pseudo-luxury performance wagon. Buick made just over 20,000 of these wagons, making them still relatively affordable and available today. Interesting fact, the 1970 Buick Estate Wagon was considered a sleeper car, as its unassuming station wagon appearance hid its powerful 455 engine capable of surprising many at the drag strip. Number 1, the 383 4-speed Coronet and Belvedere wagons. It's only right to include at least one Mopar on this list, and thankfully, we can lump a few together that span the lineup of Dodge and Plymouth. These B-body wagons were built from 1964 to 1972, with a very select handful of 4-speed 383 powered wagons built in factory form on the Coronet and Belvedere. Finding actual production numbers on these is like finding a needle in a haystack, but it's definitely under 100 total factory 4-speed cars. These 383 powered wagons would have put out 300 horsepower stock with ample torque to blow off the tires with a well-timed clutch dump, even with a full family inside. No production wagons ever left the factory with a factory 444 speed combo, meaning these handful of 383 4-speed cars were the pinnacle of factory Mopar wagon performance. One of these cars, a 1971 Coronet Crestwood, came up for sale around 8 years ago online. If you have any information on these 383 wagons, please share it in the comments. Some interesting fact. Fact 1. The 383 powered Coronet and Belvedere wagons were so rare that many Mopar enthusiasts might not even be aware of their existence, making them highly prized among collectors. Fact 2. The 1971 Coronet Crestwood, one of these rare 383 4-speed wagons, featured an optional third-row seat, making it one of the few muscle cars that could seat up to 9 passengers. These are the 5 ultra-rare American muscle wagons that you've probably never heard about. Hope you all thoroughly enjoyed the article, and thank you for reading. Be sure to subscribe to the CARZA channel for more documentary-style videos on the world's most interesting cars. Until next time, enthusiasts,